All right, so we've got a really interesting one today, folks. This is up there with some of the wildest theories we've ever gotten.
Oh, yeah, definitely. This one's got layers, like an onion, a cosmic onion, maybe.
Okay, so the gist is you think both the main Marvel comic universe, the one that's been running for decades, and the MCU with the movies and shows and all that, they're both Earth-616,
Mm-hmm.
but not in the same reality.
Exactly. Parallel universes, different realities, all that jazz. We're used to it.
Yeah.
But you've taken it a step further.
And to be fair, at first glance, anyone might be like, hold on, didn't they just say in Multiverse of Madness that the MCU is 616?
Right. Like flat out said it.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Our listener here, they dove deep into Marvel lore, like some seriously obscure stuff. We're talking cosmic level events here.
Yeah, this isn't just like, oh, maybe that one issue contradicts this other one.
Yeah.
This is fundamental to how the Marvel universe works, or universes, I guess we should say.
Exactly. So before we get too far, we got to lay some groundwork. We're talking about the 7 or maybe 8 cosmos. Expert, you want to take this one. This is a doozy.
Okay, so imagine, right, the entire Marvel multiverse. Everything, every single reality, every timeline.
Yeah.
It ends. And then it starts again. But it's not a reset button, not just rewinding the clock. It's a whole new multiverse from the ground up with its own rules, its own history, its own everything.
Like totally different Big Bangs even.
Oh, way beyond that. We're talking fundamental forces of the universe being different. The very fabric of reality rewritten with each new cosmos.
Okay, see, this is what I love about this show. We're 3 minutes in and my brain's already doing backflips.
Just wait, there's more.
So Cosmos 1, it dies. Cosmos 2 is born, so on and so forth. We're currently on, what, 7, 8, somewhere around there?
It's fuzzy. Even in the comics, they haven't nailed that down completely.
Which makes sense, right? I mean, how do you even measure something like that?
Exactly. But the point is, there have been multiple iterations of the multiverse. And that's where our listeners' theory really kicks in. They use Galactus as kind of a touchstone, a reference point.
Which, side note, Galactus, the devourer of worlds, for anyone who somehow hasn't stumbled across him yet.
Giant dude, eats planets. Really bad news if you're a planet.
Pretty much. But he's not just some giant dude who eats planets. He's got this whole cosmic significance, right?
Huge significance. See, Galactus, he wasn't always the planet-eating behemoth we know. He was born at the end of the 6th cosmos. Like, literally, as that universe was dying, he emerged.
Okay, so each cosmos has its own Galactus.
That's the idea. He's kind of like a cosmic constant, but different in each iteration of the multiverse.
So if each cosmos has its own Galactus, does it also have its own, I don't know, its own Avengers, its own Thanos, its own Earth-616?
Bingo. That's the leap the listener makes, and it's brilliant, honestly.
Because now we're back to the Darkhold, that creepy, evil book of dark magic that's been causing trouble for, like, forever in Marvel.
Yeah, and this is where it gets really interesting, because the listener points out a specific discrepancy. We're talking about 2022, both in the Multiverse of Madness movie and the Darkhold Omega comic event.
Right. 2 very different fates for this book.
In the movie, Wanda, she goes full Scarlet Witch, and she's like, I'm ending this Darkhold nonsense once and for all.
And she does. She wipes out every single copy of it across, well, supposedly the entire multiverse, right?
Gone, kaput. No more Darkhold shenanigans, at least in the MCU.
But in the comics...
Different story. Wanda still confronts the Darkhold, but instead of destroying it, she absorbs it, along with the demon that's bound to it, by the way.
Oh, right. Tethon. Yeah, that guy. Always up to no good.
So we've got a continuity problem here. These two events, they can't both happen in the same reality. It doesn't track.
Unless
They're not in the same reality to begin with.
the MCU and the main comic universe, both Earth-616, but separated by whole cosmos.
And suddenly, boom, problem solved.
It's elegant, it's brilliant, it's kind of terrifying when you really think about it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, think about the implications. If the MCU is its own cosmos, is it a younger one? Like, still early in its lifespan, before things get really crazy with the cosmic level threats?
Or is it further along than we think? Maybe it's already on the verge of collapse, like that 6th one that birthed Galactus.
See, and that's what I love about this theory. It's not just a neat way to explain away a continuity error. It opens up a whole new way of looking at the MCU.
Exactly. And here's something else that I think is just mind-blowing. This idea of cyclical universes, of everything dying and being reborn, it's not just a comic book thing. Scientists, real-life scientists, they have theories about this stuff too. The big crunch, the big bounce, these ideas that our own universe could be just one in a long line of universes, constantly expanding and collapsing.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Where does the science fiction end and well, the really big science begin?
It's enough to make your head spin. So what do you think out there? Could the MCU be a part of a completely different cosmic cycle, maybe even one with its own unique set of rules and its own cosmic entities? Hit us up on social media, let us know your thoughts, and keep those theories coming because honestly, this is why we love doing this show.
Absolutely never a dull moment.
This has